So me and my buddies, we were in California, and we stayed at the Westin Hotel for our last night of stay there. I had made mention of this in my video, Two Adults. Anyway, uh, so we stayed there, and this was a four-star hotel, very nice hotel, one of the nicest I've ever been in. And so when you walked in the door, the first time I walked in the door to get the room key and whatnot, a gentleman opened the door for me. And I was just like, oh, thanks, sir, you know. And he was like, you know, no problem. And so I walked in, I did my thing, and that took a little bit. There was a little confusion and stuff. And so then I walked out the door to get our luggage, and he was there opening the door again. And at first I thought it was just another guy who was staying at the hotel, so I was just like, hey, thanks again, still out here, huh? Thinking, oh, maybe he's waiting for a ride, maybe he's, whatever. I don't know why he's out there. And so he was like, yep, still here. And I was like, thanks, really appreciate it. So go get my luggage and stuff, go back into the doors because there was no side entrances. There was only one entrance. And so we get the luggage, and much time has passed since the original scene of this guy. And we're going through the front door, and he opens the door, and I was like, hey, you don't have to keep doing that. And he's like, yeah, I do. Like that. And I was just like, okay, well, that's fine. So we took our luggage up to our room, and then I came back down to get Steven, who was still in the car at the time. And I come back down, and he's still there. And I was like, no, really, sir. I was like, I really appreciate it. I was like, you don't have to do that. And he was like, it's my job. He was like, I work the door. And it just like hit me that he was opening this door for people every day, all day, as his job. It's a nice hotel, they treat you respectfully, I guess. And isn't that our job too, as believers? Now, don't take that and then run with it and said, okay, Andrew Bishop said our job as believers is to only open doors at hotels, because that is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is opening the door for someone is a loving, caring, respectful action. Credible reasoning is because these nice hotels pay people to do it. So obviously people respect that and feel comforted and safe and whatever, positive, when someone opens the door for them. It's polite. In growing up, my parents taught my son, or my son, my brother, my sister to do the same thing. And so as manners go, we were taught that as well. Praise be to God that, that my parents taught us that. And I really feel, though, as believers, like, that is a simple action one can do to show the love of Jesus Christ. And you might be like, that's not showing the love of Jesus, that's just being showing love or being kind. Well, right, okay. But we must realize that even our righteousness is like filthy rags to God, and we are dead in our sin, and we are wicked, and we are awful people. Okay? And God is love. So if we are awful, if we are sinful, and God is love, when we do a love action, being so sinful that we are, that's God. That's God in us. So yes, it is an example of showing the love of Jesus Christ. Something as simple as opening the door. And so I looked back at him and I said, that's my job too. And he looked at me, and I just smiled. And so then I got Steven and talked to Steven. We went on. Long story short, I just want to encourage you guys, as this guy encouraged me. He put it in a way of, okay, this is my job. This is why I'm doing this. He might like his job. That's great. He's serving many people in a small way, but we can apply that to our everyday lives. So when we go in a grocery store, whatever it may be, we can apply that. And so I want to encourage you guys to do so, because some people might say thanks, some people might not say anything at all, but you never know. Later on in their evening, they might be like, why did that guy open that door for me today? I mean, that was nice of him, but I didn't know him. Like the world today with social networks and stuff like that, it's so easy to talk to someone over Facebook, but in person, if you say hey to someone, it's like, wait, you're talking to me? Hold on, type it out and send me a message, because this communication isn't working. This verbal stuff, I don't enjoy it much. You know, people add people randomly on Facebook, but people won't like walk up to someone randomly and talk to them. I thought that was funny. But anyway, let's serve and let's love, just like we believe Christ would.